Hey guys, welcome to another YouTube video. Today it's going to be a collections video. Haven't done one of these in quite a while. And since it's so hot outside, I'm not going to be able to work outside. I figured I would show off my homemade Bowie knife collection. Each one of these is made by me. And a friend in the comments asked if I should do this video. Asked me if I could do this video. My apologies. And so, here it is. First things first is the one who started it all. My homemade Bowie knife. I made this a couple of years ago with nothing but a truck spring and an angle grinder. And that's about it. I even stamped my name on the handle. And at the time, this was the largest knife in my collection. Going off at about 11.5 inches on the blade. And then overall length of 16.5 inches. Not bad for my first Bowie knife, and this thing is still scary sharp. Beautiful. Next is going into now the largest knife in my collection, which is bigger than the one I originally made. Those who may remember, I did a video on this a while back. This is my largest Bowie knife in my collection that I made myself. This one is bigger than the other one. This blade on this one is 13 inches with a 6-inch handle, an overall length of 19.5 inches. Very large compared to my original Bowie knife. And I love this one. I do use this one from time to time as a nice machete. This one I don't use because it was my first knife. Let's see, getting into another one I made. This one I made out of an old machete that my brother gave to me. And I've always loved the curved blade of a machete, and I always wondered if a nice jungle Bowie knife could be made, what would it look like? And this is what it looks like. Put a beautiful brass guard on the handle. Here, let me scoot you guys close. Kind of a little too far away. Let me scoot you guys a little closer. There we go. Well, now the camera's crooked. There we go. And then fix that. There. Fix that without a problem. That's my dad's dog in the background, by the way. Anyway, getting back to talking about this. This was my jungle Bowie I made. It's relatively thin, but not too thin, if you get what I mean. And I've used this a handful of times. Again, a great machete and a great Bowie knife. And again, I love my Bowie knives full tang. Beautiful. Let's see, getting into next is this one I made inspiring from the movie Expendables. This is one I made after the design of Gunner's Bowie knife from Expendables. Beautiful. A nice big belly on the blade, a nice classic S-shaped guard, and a beautiful full tang handle. Made this one out of a giant sawmill blade that a friend of mine gave to me. Beautiful. And I even made a custom sheath for it. Beautiful. I love this one. Let's see. Next, we'll go into my Arkansas designed Bowie knife. This is a Bowie knife I made off the original Arkansas design. Again, you can look up photos of what the original Arkansas Bowie knife looked like. And this is one similar that will pop up. And I made a lot larger scale, gave it a nice classic coffin handle. And a beautiful, nice clip point blade. Beautiful. Eventually I'm going to make a sheath for this one. I just haven't had the time to do it. Made this one. Yeah, this is the other half of that saw blade for that other one. This is the other half of it. Beautiful. Let's see. Next, we're getting into a few recent ones. This is one I made out of a machete that I got from a friend of mine named Michael. And again, a classic Bowie knife. Gave it a classic coffin handle, full tang with a guard made out of aluminum. And the blade is an old machete. Gave it a nice clip point. And put a sharpening choil on it. And put a beautiful cutting edge on it. Beautiful. And then this is another one I made out of a machete. A classic spear point with a belly going wider and wider out to the edge. Put 4 sharpening choils on it this time. Gave it full tang, only put 2 pins in it this time, and gave a nice little curve right here to grip your hand with. And the guard's aluminum. Again, turned out really nice. I love this one. I'm trying to debate, should I sell this one or keep it? Getting into some other designs I experimented with. This is a Bowie knife I experimented with. Kind of gave it a design of a sword than a Bowie knife. The handle is a piece of a walker that I had lying around, and I still have the other piece of it. And the handle is drilled through and pinned in place with a guard and a plastic spacer holding the whole thing together. And it feels really comfortable in the hand, so I gotta admit. And I filled the end of it with a piece of leather and epoxy. Again, came out really nice. This was one of my experimental projects. And this is another experiment I did. Again, wanted to try something different, so I gave it an integral guard along with a full tank handle, no pins, and just a weird designed blade, because I wanted to try something out. Didn't turn out too bad. So that's one of my Bowie knives. And then the smallest of the bunch is this baby Bowie knife I made out of an old machete blade. Those who remember, this was the machete blade that I originally was going to use in that trench knife handle, but it turned out to be way too thin and it just would not work. So I chucked it back into my bin and then eventually turned it back into a knife. Gave it a traditional style that you would see in history books. A nice wide curved blade with a nice clip with a nice curved point and a coffin handle with 3 pins. And the handle looks different on each side because I used 2 different pieces of wood, again, to make it look different. And the guard's aluminum. Again, still a Bowie knife because of how small it is. And last but not least is one that is not a Bowie knife, but I figured I would show it anyway. Those who remember, I've gotten in a couple of these from a flea market. These are Columbia-made machetes. And I've already cut down one and made it into a beautiful pirate's cutlass. And it turned out really nice. Sadly, I didn't have any wrapping that was either too small or too big, so I just wrapped it in plain old electrical tape for the time being. But it does have a real wood handle underneath with 3 pins holding the whole handle on. And the butt cap is an old pommel that failed from a previous project, so I just kept it. And the D-guard is aluminum. And the blade, of course, is one of those machetes. And I took it more of a distal taper, because here's the original design of it. And here's what I did to it. I gave it more of a general curve to the tip and put a beautiful cutting edge on it. And left the logo on it. Not bad. Eventually, I want to get a scabbard made for this. I just don't have the time. Alrighty. That is all my Bowie knives, plus a sword, I guess you would say. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll do another collection video if I have time today, because I'm not going to be able to work outside due to how hot it has been. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, stay sharp and keep collecting, my friends.